Alrighty, story time. Today, I'm gonna talk about the time me and my friend did even more stupid stuff. Alright, so one time, at his house, he lives towards the country, pretty much out in the country. And we were just hanging out, on the side by side. And then he had other friends coming over. So let's call the other friends short one and pretty girl with glasses, because she was bad. Anyways, pretty girl with glasses at the time, I was like 11, 12, somewhere around there. And pretty girl with glasses were like 13, 14. Yeah, and little kid, that was little kid's sister. And he was like 2 years younger, but he was chill with it, So like I told him, one of the first days, 2 years I've talked to them, I was hanging out, I liked her for 2 years straight. 2 years straight. Wild thing to say, what the fuck? I don't know. Yeah, so for 2 years straight I liked her, I liked her. The one day I went to, tell her, I fucked up. I did it too late and I couldn't ask her out. But this is a whole other time. So, basically, all the time she had a boyfriend. For most of the time I knew her. And the funny thing is, she was the only one who did not know that I had a crush on her. Badly. Because, whatchamacallit, her mom even was like, yeah, man, you're perfectly fine with dating my daughter. And the dad was really chill with me, too. Because, I was surprised. I wasn't surprised that they knew, because everyone did. It was really obvious. It was, like, insanely obvious that, they knew. And it was really hard for me to try to tell her, because she was like 2 years older than me, like 2 years, which is insane to me, that I was even trying to get her 2 years older than me. But right now she's like 15, I think, 15, 16, and I think she has a boyfriend, like always. Although she like normally dates younger guys, don't know why, so I had a chance. Kind of. I just didn't have the courage, See, I've dated, I've gotten girls' numbers that were, like, older than me by, like, 2 years. But the only problem is, I'll never see them again, so I don't care. This girl I almost saw every single weekend for multiple weeks straight during the NFL and the college football season. Because, my friend's mom would host watch parties for college and the NFL, like Super Bowl. That is one of my favorite watch parties to go to. Like every time we're invited, it's just so fun. And then the Carolina versus Clemson game, that's another fun one to watch. Army versus Navy, she also does that one. Then North Carolina, I think it was like Duke versus North Carolina in basketball we watch. Then we also watch women's basketball, that's another great one. So yeah, it was just really fun every single time we get to do that. I get to go over there, and I've always loved this. I love spending the night there. I love doing everything over there. She was pretty much my second home away from home. Because, my mom is like everyone's second mom. Because, a lot of the times my friends tend to spend the night with me. And, at our house. So, like, I do this every single summer where my friends, there's like one friend who spends the night almost every single weekend or every single day of summer, and it really, gets you into brotherhood, right there. Of all the people that I've done it with, are like I would say probably my best friends, like And that's just the truth. You know, sadly, one of them's like, you know, I haven't seen one of them in a while. But, you know, I love to see him again. He's essentially my, you know, my brother. And both of them are, you know. But, you know, we've had stuff to do. Peaceful to see. Anyway, so this story is one time that we were riding on a side-by-side. And, you know, or wait, no, it's not. What am I talking about? This story is when she brought her boyfriend, you know, the newest one. You know, he's like the same age as her. That took a surprise to me. But, you know, I heard, you know, her mom talking about how, you know, I'm gonna be upset. And I kind of laughed at that, because, you know, that's funny to me. Like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, Mason's gonna be upset. And I'm like, yo. You know, I already knew that she knew. Pocket bones. Do I really need it? No, I don't. Anyways, so it was really funny. But basically, she brought her boyfriend to one of the, you know, greets, you know, one of the family, kind of like my second family's, you know, watch party. So, you know, obviously I was pissed about that. Don't get me wrong, you know, he was a nice guy and all, but don't worry, I got my payback. So basically, we ended up playing hide and seek with a BB gun. Don't question it. We were using an airsoft gun. I think it shot pretty well. I mean, I didn't get hit, obviously. I had easily the best spot. You know, so I ran over upstairs to where the sniper was, aka my friend, you know, and, you know, he was like, hey, you want me to hit, you know, pretty girl's, you know, boyfriend? And I'm like, yeah, nail him like 5 times. He only got him, I think, twice. He got him once in the face, which I was happy about, and he got him another time in the jeans. So, I was happy that, you know, my friend got payback from me. He knew that I liked her. I think everyone did besides her, which she probably knows now. But, you know, really do miss those old times we had. Anyways, bye.